Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video we're going through the St Kilda versus West Coast game in which Jack Steele back to his best. Man, can this season just end? We got 5 more rounds for this year to go, and yeah, I'm pretty much set in where I'm going to finish most likely, and some of the boys that I have traded out already are starting to burn me yet again, so nothing new there. So yeah, it was just really annoying to see both Steele and Royal Marshall get going again, and yeah, so anyway, before we jump into this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into this video. So, as you can see here, Tim Membry, 5 goals in the end, 5 goals, 23 touches, 10 marks, 7 tackles. He was absolutely immense. I think I was watching the other game, to be honest, most of the other game, over this one. I did have this one, I think, on sort of in the background, but it wasn't the main one that I was necessarily watching. So, yeah, I didn't see Tim Membry going crazy. Was this a 145 or was this the 4:30 game? No, the 4:30 game was the Hawthorn-Collingwood game, wasn't it? Because you had the Geelong played at 7:30. So yeah, this was the 4:30 game. Sorry, the 1:30 game or the 1:45 game alongside the GWS Gold Coast game. So I didn't catch much of this, but yeah, I just saw Tim Membry just going off, and I was just like, well, this is just he's one of those games where a guy that's low price just goes off, similar to Hunt here, and yeah, so it doesn't really have any fancy relevance given that he scored a 16 against Adelaide, a 38 against Sydney. And that's his highest score by 87 this year. So yeah, no fancy relevance, I don't believe at all. Steele with a 133, and would you look at that? He's just scored 97, 112, 105, 133. And he looks back in form, and he's getting those marks again. 9 marks, 5 tackles, 1 free kick, a goal, and 31 touches. And this is exactly the Steele that we thought would happen. Or at least I think I highlighted in the Adelaide video. Maybe I should go back and check. That I think I said he just needs to get his marks up. I want to just double check what was his disposals and his marks in the Adelaide game, as I think it was one of those ones where he said if he gets that going, he's going to start absolutely flying. Let me just check his match stats. He had 19 touches, 5 marks, 10 tackles. So yeah, I now remember saying, I would have said, at least my thinking would have been, if he can just get another 5 kicks, 5 or so handballs, which would put him at 18 kicks, 11 handballs, and he's at 17 kicks and 14 handballs, he would have got a massive score, and that's exactly what he basically did. He also kicked a goal to help himself get up towards that area. He had, 47, did he have any negatives? So 48, 54 non-disposal points, and the week before he had 54 non-disposal points. So it was just an increase in disposal points that actually got him up towards that 133 over the 105. So that's exactly what I thought what I thought could happen with Steele. That he's a non-disposal beast, so his marks and tackles are always really high when he's on form. And it was just about getting him up towards that 28 plus disposals, and he basically did that. Romo, 118. He was pretty immense throughout the day. 24 hit-outs. He just doesn't rely on hit-outs terribly much as a ruckman. And even though they had Williams, and did they have also... they didn't have... Flynn, it doesn't look like here. So they had the easier rough matchup, and yeah, Romo just took them to down. 20 kicks, 6 handballs, 5 marks, 3 tackles, 24 hitouts, 3 free kicks, 4 and against, which is a -6 split, and a behind there. So he just dominated, especially in the second half with a 70. Absolutely huge. Sinclair, I'm happy that he didn't go huge in the last, because that was looking bad when he was on 102 at 3/4 time, but he took the pedal off in the last quarter with only an 8. But I mean, the game was dead by then, so I'm surprised he didn't get involved in the chip that genuinely happened in the last quarter with St Kilda. Wood, 106, 3 goals, 4. When he kicks goals, he's a high marker, so when he kicks goals, he genuinely gets it up very, very quickly. as you can see with the 9 marks there and 22 points off of scoring. So that was pretty good for him. Zach Jones, 102. I thought he had a really good game after everything that happened midweek with him. For him to come back with this game, I thought was really, really class. And shows that he has some football left in him. I don't know whether his best role is necessarily as a sub, because he doesn't inject too much energy. But I thought this, the way he played this game with 26 touches, 5 marks, 7 tackles, was back to his best that we saw a couple years ago, to be honest. Wanganeen Miller 42, 18, 24, 32, 26. He was involved a lot in the last little bit here. You can see with, 16 in the matter of about 3 minutes. But yeah, 21 kicks, 2 handballs, 8 marks, 2 tackles, for a 100 on the dot. Owens, Wilkie, Clark, Sharman, Wilson, Bonner, Butler, Stocker, Webster, Battle, none of these guys literally matter at all. And it looks like Liam Henry's season is over from all reports that I've seen with a knee injury. So that may open up the opportunity for someone's, especially like a rookie, for them to come on, ruin their fantasy relevance for the next year. And then we're just like, well, that kind of sucks. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe, Hugo Garcia getting elevated wouldn't be the worst. But if they bring straight in a rookie, is it like Hardy or Angus Hasty? I think it is. Angus Hasty, it rings a bell. He's up there with, I think, 20 or 25 average across like 2 or 3 games, I believe. Let me just double check that for you guys. So Hasty, he's at an average 5 games played, 19.8 average. Let's hope that if he plays 5 more games, potentially because he is a winger, that he doesn't get that average up above like 22, 23, because that's when the area that starts to go, oh, that's going to get actually off basement price. So we're just waiting for that and hoping that he doesn't get that, because that'll be annoying if he does. So Hunt with a 120, like over in the Eagles side of it, doesn't really have any fancy relevance for 62k for a reason. He was good. Was it last year that he was good or something? Or was it early this year that he was relevant and then he sort of died off? Yeah, 120, not really relevant. Hoff, 91, he's been played more of a lockdown type of role, so for him to score a 91 is all right. But then again, it's not really fancy relevant. One of his top scores for the year, alongside a 93, but he's not a fancy relevant prospect that I thought he would be at the start of this year. Tim Kelly, 89, just one of those poor games for him. It seems like, or at least from memory, as you see, he's got 5 tons, and a lot of 80 scores. He's one of those guys that is, like I said, with Hayden Young, who we'll get to as well. If you take out that 50 from him in a tag game, and a 57 in this game here, you'll see that his scores are all in between like 80 and 110. And that happened last year as well. I believe his low was like an 80 or 78, and his high was a 112 or something like that as well. So he's not really a high scorer. He's more of just a middle grounds type of guy, which isn't really fancy relevant because you want guys that are undervalued, and he's always pretty much fair value because he's going to go at the sort of 90. He's always going to average around 90, and he doesn't really have that chance to take that next step. Jimby, I thought he had a really good first half, especially first quarter. He was pretty good. 22, 4 and 5. This is more like the Jimby that we sort of expect. I wouldn't be surprised if he does have a third year breakout. Priced in the 60s, it will definitely be an interesting discussion. I don't think I'll go there just because we're going to have guys like Clayton Oliver at probably 75 or 80 average that I think can do plus 20 quite easily with the preseason. But Jimby could be a third year breakout. That is the one that jumps. So him and also Wardlaw are going to be interesting prospects next year. I think Wardlaw is going to be a little bit more valuable because even though he's probably going to be 10 or 15 more expensive on terms of average, I think he's definitely got the higher upside to be able to go big. Let me just check the Wardlaw average for you. Wardlaw, I keep on forgetting to clear it all. Wardlaw is currently averaging 78.9, but if you were to say 78.9, he did put up in the last around a 70. But if you were to say him or Jimby, who's currently averaging, where is he? He's currently averaging 62.5. Is Jimby going to go up to 82.5, or is Wardlaw going to go up to, what did I say, 98 or 97, around that marker? I would back in probably Wardlaw still, but I'm probably not even going to step close to those guys because they're all breakout players rather than injury or historical value or some other position change, discount, etc. Cole, Reed, Marek, Barras, Edwards, Witherden, Edwards again, Williams, Ryan, Allen, Cripps, True. This is why you don't go for the more expensive guys, because if they bottom out, and True's cash gen is almost dead. I wouldn't say completely dead, but almost. So yeah, that's why you don't go for him, as he did gain a little bit of cash, but he didn't gain extraordinary amounts. Hutchinson as well, you don't go for these type of players, just because they're forwards for a reason. Or at least they're forward in both on the fantasy app as well as they're actually playing forward roles on the field, and yeah, we don't like those. Petruccelli, Chesser, Cully, and then Rodham. Cully will be interesting next year if he can't get back to some serious form, as he will be so unders, but then again, they're probably going to take his price from, or his average from a couple years ago instead. But anyway, that pretty much is the video there, going through St Kilda and West Coast, and also just doing a little bit of a sort of 2025 look ahead and seeing how it may pan out. But anyway, that is the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.